Okay, on this problem, this is in section 13.2, two-way ANOVA. Question number one, an education researcher is interested in students' intentions to persist in university preparation studies designed for students in years 11 and 12. So basically, we're trying to see, will students go on to university studies. So the researcher believes that if students participate in an extracurricular training session, they go to a training session, they'll be more likely to plan to continue with university preparation studies. This researcher is testing two hypotheses. The first is that the training session provides specific instruction and has an effect on students' persistence. The second is that this treatment effect is moderated by year in school. Past research has suggested that there should not be a main effect for school year. However, to control for this possibility, a two-way factorial ANOVA is being conducted to account for any influences of school year treatment and the interaction of the two main effects. So in other words, what we're saying is you can see by this chart here that basically factor A is school year, factor B is treatment. And so what they did is, and then these are students, and notice this is no training and training. So basically this first group of students right here, this 78, these guys right here, these students are year 7 students. Now, what's year 7? I think that means 7th year in school. So that'd be about 6th grade, I think. 6th grade, 7th grade, maybe 7th grade. I don't know, whatever. 7th grade, maybe. These students did not have the training class. We're testing out, there's this training class. Does that help you to, they're going to train them in things to get ready for the university, like, how important it is to go to college. Maybe, I don't think everybody has to go to college, but, going to college can get you a job that you enjoy more, a job that might pay more, something like that. So training people about that, training them how to prepare for college, how to do well in high school, and how to apply to colleges and all that kind of stuff. Maybe some kind of training class to encourage them to go to the university. Well, these students had no training class, and they were year 7 students, and we gave them a test and gave them a test to see how likely they were to go to university, as far as their intentions to go to university. The higher the number, the more likely they are to go to university. These students over here, they did go to the training class. They're year 7 students who did go to the training class. These 7th graders, these are higher numbers, aren't they? These numbers look higher than these numbers. These numbers over here on the right are higher, which means it seems like the training class did prepare students, right? They took a test afterwards showing how likely they are to go to university. And these numbers are higher. So these students are more geared in to go to university, these that receive the training class in their 7th grade year. Now, down here, we have kids that receive their training class in year 10. That's like their sophomore year in high school. So these kids did not receive the training class, and yet were given the test in year 10. These students did receive the training class and were given the test. And again, the numbers are higher. So basically, we're wondering in this question, does the training class make a difference? Does it make people more likely to go to college? Or right, and that's factor B, the treatment, the training class or no training class. Now, or does the year in school matter, right? The year in school, does it matter whether they take the training class in 7th grade or 10th grade? Does that have a big difference? Or maybe it's an interaction between the two. Maybe it's best if they take the training class when they're in 10th grade, or maybe they better take it earlier. They train class in 7th grade so they can make plans earlier. I don't know. So those are the 3 things we're going to test for. Does the training class make a difference? Yes or no? Does the year in school make a difference? 7th grade, 10th grade, yes or no? Or does an interaction between the two, they've got to be a 7th grader who takes the class or something like that. That's what we're going to test. That makes this a two-way ANOVA test, as it says up here. Two-way ANOVA. Now, why is it two-way? Because there's 2 factors. The first factor is school year. The second factor is treatment, meaning training or no training. We're wondering, does the year in school affect it? Does whether they had the training class or not affect it? Right? 2 things are affecting it. 2 factors. Two-way ANOVA. ANOVA stands for analysis of variance. We're going to do this on the computer. It's too difficult to do on the graphing calculators, the TI or the Casio. It's just too difficult. So we're going to do it using the computer. On the exam, You won't be using a computer, but I'll just give you the output from the computer, and you'll have to read the output and understand what it means to answer the questions. So, but right now, to do the homework, we're going to use the computer. So you have to have a laptop or desktop computer. This doesn't seem to work on a mobile device like an iPad or a cell phone. It doesn't, or a tablet. It doesn't seem to work. It only works on a laptop or desktop, the best I can tell. So where do we go? How do we do it? We go to Google Sheets. Now you can go to Google Sheets, or you can go to Microsoft Excel. The reason I'm going to show Google Sheets is because that's free for everybody. Whereas Microsoft Excel, you have to pay. So some of you have Microsoft Excel. If you have Microsoft Excel, then you can just use that. That'll work fine. I'm going to go to Google Sheets because that's free for everybody. Search Google Sheets. Here it is, Google Sheets. Click on that. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go to Sheets. And then when I do, now mine automatically pops in because I'm already logged into my account, but you might not be logged in. You probably are not logged in. So you might need to make a Google or log into your Google account. If you don't have one, you can make one for free. Google accounts are free of charge. You can make a Google account. If you already have one, just log into your Google account at this point with Google Sheets, which is spreadsheet. Again, you can use Microsoft Excel instead. That'll work just as well. I'm going to show Google Sheets. Come over here, click on the blank, because I want a blank spreadsheet. Just click on that. Click right there. There. It gives me a blank spreadsheet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the question, and I'm going to highlight the data. Like I'm going to highlight that data, and I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm holding down control right now, and then hit C for copy. Control C. Hold down control and hit C. That copies that data. So I highlighted all that data. That's what? How many numbers? 7 numbers. Notice there's 7 numbers in each of these cells. So they come over here. Now I'm going to put it in C3. See how I just went into C3? I'm going to come up here and go edit, paste. And it pastes those 7 numbers starting in C3. Okay, then I'm going to go back over to the chart. I'm going to go, okay, let me go over here now. I'm going to highlight those 7 numbers. Hold down control, hit C. Come over here, go to this spot, and paste. There's those 7 numbers. Now I'm going to put the titles on. Let me go over here. I'm going to go, okay, there was a title here. Oh, year 7. So I'm going to go year 7. Control copy, control C. Come over here, right here. That's where year 7 starts. And then I'm going to go over here and do year 10 as well. Year 10, control copy. Notice that starts up here at 63.8. Year 10 at 63.8. So 63. Oh, I didn't do those yet. That'll be right here. Oh, yeah, year 10 will start right here. I got to go get this. Okay, there's year 10. Let me go get the year 10 people. 63.8 on down. Control copy, control C. Come over here. I'm just going to hit control V. When that pastes it automatically, it's just a quick way to do it. And come over here. I'm going to do this. Hold down, highlight them. Make sure you get all the way to the end there, get that last number. Hold down control, hit C for copy. Back over here. I'm going to hold down. See, I'm highlighted. It's going to put it right here. Now, if you actually put it in the wrong place, I'm going to hold down control and hit V for paste. Or you can just go up here and use the paste option. Anyway, look, it went in the wrong spot. I don't want it there. You can always back up by holding down control and hitting Z. Z backs up. Or you can come up here and go undo. Come back up here. Go, oh, that's where I want it. Control, and I'll just paste. Paste. There it is. Now it's in the right spot. Okay, now I got to put titles at the top. Go grab the title. So this is no training. Or you can do control no training if you want. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I think it's easier just to do no training. I'll just do no training. Control copy. And no training. And come over here. And the 10 training. Control copy. Control, or I'll just show it. Paste. There it is, 10 training. Now that's all that you have to put in. I'll just do that. And so now we've got to get the computer to analyze this data. How do we do it? Well, you got to come up here to extensions. See this extensions? Click on that. Now, mine already has what we need down here, Excel Minor Analysis Toolpack. That's what you need because I've already downloaded it, but yours probably won't have it. It doesn't come automatically with Google Sheets. You got to download it. So I'll come up here. How you would download is go to Add-ons. So I'm under Extensions, Add-ons. Go over to Get Add-ons. Click on that. It says, okay, come up here to the top, Search Apps, and type in XL. And there it is, Excel Minor Analysis Toolpack. That's what you want. Excel Minor Analysis Toolpack. Click on that. It pops up right here. Now, mine's already installed, as you can see, but you would click on it and then install it. Okay, so mine's already installed. Once you have it installed, then you click on Extensions, and it'll appear down here. Once you have it installed, Excel Minor Analysis Toolpack, come over here to Start and click Start. And it pops up over here, Excel Minor Analysis Toolpack. Now, we have some options. ANOVA single factor, ANOVA two factor with replication. Basically, look, here's all the tests we've done on the graphing calculator all semester. Basically, we want ANOVA two factor with replication. Now, what does that mean with replication? We mean each cell has replication. See how there's, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in that cell, 7 items in this cell, meaning these are all year 7 attended training people. There's 7 items in each cell. That's called replication. So you want with replication. So I'll click on that. Now it says input range. Okay, so you have to go up here. See, you want to highlight. Oops, I didn't quite go far enough. There. So you want to highlight. Let me try that again. You want to highlight from this blank right here, highlight to the lower corner. There we go. That's perfect. Why? Get up. You got to make sure when you highlight, you get all the numbers and you get the 2 titles on the left and the 2 titles on the top. Watch out. It's an easy mistake to say, I'm only going to start here and go over and highlight. That won't work because you didn't get the titles at the top. You got to start in this blank spot. Go over and down. Now, and also, you can get too much. You come up here like that, and that's it. That'll mess it up too. You got to get just the titles and the numbers like that. Titles at the top, titles on the side, and all the numbers. So you got to start in this blank in the upper left, go down there. And then what do you do? Come over here. After you've highlighted that and released it, it knows it, it's got it, and you click here, bonk, and it puts it in. Oh, it says B2. You want B2 all the way to D16? Right. See how this is cell B2? This is all the way to cell D16. See, D16. That's right. Okay, now rows per sample. Well, this is where this is 7. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for each sample. Every one of my samples has 7. Now, when I say this is year 10 people who did not go to training, there's 7 numbers there. This is year 7 people who did go to training, 7 numbers there. This is year 10 people who went to training, 7 numbers there. So it's 7 rows in each sample. Now, alpha, go back and find your alpha level. My alpha level. Okay, so my alpha level right here. Right there. Alpha is 0.05. Now it changes it though. You might have 0.02, 0.01, 0.10, whatever your alpha level, put that in right here. Mine is already right. Mine's 0.05. Okay. Now output. If you click over here on output, oh, it put something crazy. Erase that. You don't want that. Where do you want output? Well, you're telling it where to spit the answers. I'm going to go right over here, just to the right of my table on, just one spot to the right at the top. And then I'll click on this one. And it goes, oh, F2, you want me to start putting the answers in F2? Yes, I do. And then, so there it is. It's all set up. I'm going to say, okay, do it. And it just spit out all the answers. Now, don't worry about that. This is ANOVA two-factor with replication. Don't worry about all this stuff. We're not even going to pay attention to that. If you take a higher level statistics class, if you're a psychology major or a sociology major, you'll probably take a higher, I'm sure you will take a junior or senior level statistics class, and you'll do more of this two-way analysis of variance, two-way ANOVA, and you'll learn more about this other stuff. But we're just doing an introduction here. So all we care about is go way down and go right, is these 6 numbers right there. That's all we're going to look at to answer all of our questions. The 3 F values, see how it says F right here? The 3 F values, I can highlight the F, 3 F values, and the 3 P values. Now, how do you know what they're for? Well, you come over here if it's helpful for you and type A, B, or you can put it right here. You can say sample A, whatever, good enough, because that's what it is. So this right here is the F value for A, and this is the F value for B. So that's B, and then this is the F value for interaction. Now, what does that mean about the questions? Well, let's go back. So here's come the questions now. It says, what is the F value for the treatment effect? Now, what's treatment? Well, if you go back up to the chart, see how factor B is treatment? So they're actually asking us, what's the F value for B? So careful, they didn't start with A. It's kind of confusing, right? We would expect them to start with A, but they started with B. They're saying, what's what is the F value for treatment? And treatment is B. So come up here and we go, okay, treatment is B. So B, here's B, F value. Oh, it's this right here. This is the F value for B. So you got to get the second one, right? It's A, B, and then interaction, right? A, B. I just had you type A and B. It's always that way, A, B, and then interaction. So they want the F value for B. So it's that one. So what am I going to do? I'm going to highlight that, come up here. I'm going to go copy. Copy that number right there, the F value for B. Come back over to my question, and I can put there, and I'm going to hold down Control and hit V, and it pastes it right in there. Let's see if it's right. I have the answer key, so it shows me the answer. Yeah, see, it's the right number. Now it wants the P value for treatment. Again, treatment is B. See up here? Treatment is factor B. So it wants the P value for treatment. So it wants the P value for B. Let's go back over here. Be that number right there, right? P value for B. See how this is B? This is P value. So right there, P value for B. What am I going to do? Over here and copy. Come back over here and put my cursor in there and hold down Control and hit V to paste it. See if it's right. Yep, got the right number. Okay, now what does that mean? Does this support the researcher's hypothesis that the treatment has an effect on intention to persist towards university studies? So does this one, the treatment, meaning whether they, no training or training, that's B, right? The treatment is whether they took the training class or they did not take the training class. So does that matter? Does whether they took the training class or not matter, right? He said treatment has an effect. It matters. Does it? Yeah, look at the p-value. See how low that basically, if the p-value is low, then the thing matters, right? That's how we've learned about p-value. P-value is low means a low chance of luck. It's not just luck, it matters. So if the p is low, meaning lower than what? Lower than your alpha level. What's my alpha level? Mine's 0.05. Yours might be something different. So this p-value right here, this is quite a bit lower than 0.05. This is 0.0001. That's super low. So yeah, does treatment have it? Yeah, for sure it does. Yes, for sure. Yes. All right. So that means whether those kids took the training class or not, that really affected how much they planned to go to university. So it seems like the class is working. And you can see it, just look at the numbers. So how much higher these numbers are than these numbers, right? All the numbers on the left are small. All the numbers on the right are big, aren't they? See those? So the training class seems to really make a difference. Seems like it's working. Okay, let's come down here. Now, what is the F value for the school year effect? Now, school year's A. See, school year's A right here. So they're saying, so this is A now, the F value for school year, the F value for A. Let's go back over and go, oh, okay. So A, F value right there. So that right there, there's the F value for A. Copy. Come back over here, put it in there, hold down Control, hit V for paste. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Now, the P value for school year. P value for school year. So that's right here. All right, because again, A is school year. There's P value. That's right there. P value for school year. School is A. So you got to watch out. Now, get the right one. Copy. Come back over here. Put in there. Hold down Control. Hit V. Paste. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So does this support the researcher's assumption that school year does not have an effect? Is that true? Is school year not having the effect? Yeah, that's right. Because this P value is high. 0.13. That's higher than 0.05. That's not low. So that means it's not affecting anything. That's what that means. School year does not seem to have an effect. So, right, this is the school year effect, and the p-value came out high. So the school year doesn't matter. That means whether you give them this training class in year 7 or year 10, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. 7th grade, 10th grade, whatever. Makes no difference. It doesn't matter. So does this support the researcher's assumption that the school year does not have an effect? Yes. Yes, it does. He's right. It doesn't have an effect. The p-value is high. So only p-values that are low have an effect. Again, on the exam, I'm just going to give you this table. I'm going to give you this table right here. And I'm going to ask you questions, right? Because you can't be using a computer. So I'll just give you the output, which is this table. And I'll say, all right, what does it mean? And you'll have to know to grab the F values and the P values and answer questions about what it means. So we have a couple more here. The F value for interaction. So we've learned so far that the training course has an effect, right? The class matters, that the year in school doesn't, right? That whether they take the training class or not, that has a big effect on their desire to go to college. to go to university, but maybe there's an interaction. So now we're testing to see if there's an interaction. So sometimes so we know the class has an effect, whether they take the class or not has an effect. What year they take the class doesn't seem to matter. By itself, the year doesn't matter, but maybe there's an interaction. So maybe if they take the class in 10th grade, that's the best thing. Maybe there's an interaction. You've got to do the class, but you got to do it in 10th grade. And that really, really affects things. Maybe, I don't know. Is there some kind of interaction effect? Let's see. What's the F value for interaction? Let's go back. So now here's the interaction. See interaction right there. F value. So F value for interaction. So it's that one right there. So let's copy, come over and paste. Hold down Control, hit V. Yep, got it right. Okay, now what's the P value for interaction? Okay, again, here's interaction, P value. There it is. P value for interaction. Let me copy that. Paste it, 0.35. Yep, okay. So let's look at that P value first. Is that high or low? That's high, huh? 0.35, that's super high. That's not a low, which means there's no interaction. There's no interaction effect. Only P values that are low have an effect, right? Remember, as we look back up here, the P value for the class, the treatment of the class was super low, so that had an effect. The P value for this guy is high. So does this support the researcher's hypothesis that the treatment effect is moderated by school year? Moderated, what does that mean? Well, if you modify something, you change it, right? So they're saying the treatment, remember the treatment is the class. Come back over here, right? Treatment, factor B, treatment's whether you took the training or not. Okay, so which we know has an effect, right? Training matters. Okay, so is the treatment is whether you took the class. Is it moderate? Is it modified? Is it changed by your school year? No, not at all, right? This p-value is high, which means no, there's no interaction effect. There's, one thing is not affected by the other. The training class is not affected by whether you take it in 7th grade or 10th grade. And the researcher thought it would be. He thought it would be moderated, modified, changed by the school year, that maybe 10th grade kids taking the class had a bigger effect than 7th grade kids taking the class. No, turns out there's no interaction effect. Now, you might get one that does have an interaction effect. My p-value is high, no interaction effect. Finally, based on these findings, which group can you say had the higher average on the test? Is it the year 7 students or 10? No, remember, the year didn't matter. Is it the group not attending training? Yeah, it's the group attending training, right? Group attending training. Right? That because remember, the training was the low, come back here, the low p-value was the treatment. The treatment is the training, whether there was no training. See, look at these numbers over here in the training. Those are higher than these numbers, most of them. And these are higher than these numbers, most of them, right? It's training that made higher numbers. It's attending training. And now why isn't it like year 10 students who go to training? Well, there was no interaction effect. See, it didn't really matter. It just mattered that you went to training. It didn't matter whether year 7 or year 10. All the training numbers are higher. Remember, there was no interaction effect. That my p-value is high for interaction. So it's just the group attending training that got the high, that was affecting things. So this is this two-way ANOVA test allows us to figure out what kind of things affect results. And we can test 2 factors at the same time. We tested whether taking the training class or not taking the training class affects the results. So we found out, yes, it does very much. Attending the training class has a big effect. And then we said, yeah, but what year we give it in, 7th grade or 10th grade? No, turns out that doesn't have an effect. And there's no interaction either. It doesn't really do anything. It's just whether they go to the training or not. That's all we need. And so there we go.